I was alone in the house with Otis, and we were in bed, nice and cozy wozy. Me. And I was very, very tired that day. And my door was shut, and the hallway door was shut. So there were 2 shut doors between me and the front door, which was also shut and locked. Nobody told me that anyone would be coming to the door until like 3 p.m. No one told me that. So I had my earbuds in, Otis was on my head. My phone is always on Do Not Disturb. And guess whose teacher isn't at her college today? So Big Critter gets out of college early. Knock, knock. Me. Who's there? Nobody! Had something like 80 missed calls from her. Literally, Big Critter was homeless aunt outside the house. She kept like knocking and then trying the doorbell, then knocking. And then she opened the letter box and she was shouting through it apparently. And then the neighbor, who was very nosy, came out of his house and started smoking cigarettes in front of his house. Just so he could listen, I guess. Boomer. Nosy boomer. Anyway, so Shadow Mama was like, why don't you walk down to the cafe in town and get a hot drink? And Big Critter was like, that's a good idea. This was after like 15 minutes for standing manning outside. So she walks down to the cafe, which takes about, I think it was like 20 minutes. She walks, homeless ants her way to the cafe. She just got her first bank account. And she just got her first bank card. And she just set it all up with contactless and everything in her Apple Pay. But she also had the card. And she's like, can I have a hot fruit tea, please? And she scans her card. And they're like, oh, you need a PIN. Because it's the first time she's ever used the card. You need to enter the PIN. And she says, I don't know the PIN. And they say, isn't there someone at home you can call to check it? She says, no, I'll have to go. She homeless ants back out of the cafe and walks 20 minutes back home. She's homeless anting like, please let me in, I'm so cold. So she's been knocking on the door for like 40 minutes at this point, and I'm like, me. I'm so asleep. My face is being licked. Oh, Otis. Good morning. What a nice cozy wozy in bed we are. And then I lay in bed with him. And then I hear... Shondo, please! Let me in! I'm like, what the f... So I stumbled downstairs, half asleep. And I let her in, and she's like shivering, and she's like, I've been trying to get in for over an hour. I was like, I'm so sorry. You know what? That's the worst part. She wasn't angry. She didn't shout at me. She didn't yell. She was just like, no, I'm just so glad you let me in. I felt so bad. I made her a hot chocolate and I was like wrapping her in blankets. She was waiting so warmly. She was waiting so warmly.